question. Do you have any questions as it relates to this? Or, in fact, do you have any questions that you see going on in these Christian churches that you're saying, man, this ain't lining up? Or at least what I've been told coming up as a man, it ain't lining up.
I've always questioned it.
You've always questioned what
as a kid, I used to get in trouble in church for asking so many questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what questions do you have now? Just throw one out there.
Just, like right off top, I would say like tithing.
Tithing?
So
All praise.
I've always been like, why does God need money?
I'm going to show you.
When tithing should be your time. That 10% of your week to the Lord.
Okay.
What I always seen it as what it should be.
Okay, we're going to deal with tithe. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you an understanding of that. Before we go to that, give me Zephaniah 2:1. Zephaniah chapter 2:1. I'm going to answer this, and this is the reason why, to your point, why it's important that we give money to the church. But I'm going to give you the understanding of that, all right? Watch this.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So God requires that we gather together as a nation of people. One of the reasons why that is so important, let's just say you're struggling or battling something in your life. Yeah. If you're around like-minded brothers, we can help you through that, meaning what? There may be a brother that has dealt with the same thing that you're dealing with, and he can help you kind of get through that. Right. And so we build each other's spirit up when we congregate, when we gather together as a nation, all right? So I want to put that there. I want that to be the foundation to kind of give you an idea of why it's so important. But I want to give you an understanding of tithe, all right? Give me that. You got, all right, watch this, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 22.
Watch this.
Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
The word tithe simply means 10. Read that from the top again.
Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year.
The seed bringeth forth year by year. Where does a seed go? In the ground. So now we're dealing with the tithe, and we're dealing with seed, right? Read.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Read.
In the place which he shall choose to place his name there. The tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds, and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. And if the way be too long for thee.
Now it says, if the way be too long for thee, because we're paying a tithe, right? If the way, where we have to put our tithe at, this is what we're talking about. Now, the tithe was really for the Levites. It was not for these wicked pastors. Yeah. You understand that? Now, watch this. Got it?
The Levites?
Yeah. No, just go back. Read. Watch this.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee.
So now we're gathering the corn, all these matters of food, we're gathering that all. So if you, throughout the whole year, accumulate, let's say 500 cows and 300 sheep, wherever God chooses to place his name, if it be too far, you can't take all of that stuff with you. Now we're going to tell you what to do with all of that cattle and all that food and the oil, corn, and all of that stuff. Watch this, read.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money.
Thou should do what?
Then shalt thou turn it into money.
Because the place is too long to go. Let's just say we're all meeting up in Atlanta. Can you take all those animals and walk? Because remember, they didn't have cars back then. Can you take all of that cattle and all of those sheep and all of that stuff to Atlanta? That will be a very difficult thing to do. So God says then, what you do, that 10% of what you gained over the year, you are to sell that and exchange it for money. Watch this, read.
And bind up the money in thine hand.
Bind up the money.
And shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
So where everybody is at, you're going to go to that place in Atlanta. Read.
And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusted after.
So once you get to Atlanta, all the stuff that you sold back where you were from, you now go and you purchase that stuff back. Watch this, read.
For oxen, or for sheep, or for wine,
Read.
or for strong drink,
Come on.
or for whatsoever thy soul desireth. And thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household.
So that money, that tithe, we're supposed to eat that. We're supposed to partake in that. And we share that with all of our other brothers and sisters. Now watch this. Give me Malachi chapter 3 and verse 8. Now this is the verse that these wicked pastors use to try to guilt us into giving them money. Watch this. I'm going to show you, because we have what we call a tithing system. This is the tithing system that we're going through now. But we have what we also call alms, meaning you give what you can give. I brought up us gathering together because where are we going to gather up in? For the most part, we're going to gather in a building. So that building, we have to pay the rent, the lights, and whatever else that comes with that. And guess what the money else is for? Is if you fall on hard times, we help you out with that. Now watch this. Read. Yes. Watch this.
Acts chapter 4 verse 34. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of land sold them and brought the price of the things that were sold and laid them down at the apostles' feet. And distribution was made.
Distribution was made because you had a need. I cannot make my car payment this month. I need help. Read.
And distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
According to as he has need. According to as he has need. Go to Malachi. Malachi 3 and I believe it's verse 8. Read.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 8.
Come on.
Will a man rob God?
Now you've heard that. Will a man rob God? Watch this. Read.
Yet ye have robbed me.
Come on.
But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee?
How did we rob God? Not us. Watch. Read.
In tithes and offerings.
Tithe and offerings. What did we say tithe and offerings was? Sheep, ox, cow. It's food. We robbed God in that area. Now watch this. Read.
Ye are cursed with a curse.
Why? Because we were giving him maimed animals. Come around here. Come around here. It says we were giving God maimed animals, defiled animals. That's how we were robbing God. Because when we give God, we give him what? Our best. We don't give him lamed, maimed animals or give anything. Watch this. Read.
Ye are cursed with a curse.
Read.
For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse.
Now we're going to get down to it. It says, now bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse. Read.
That there may be meat.
Meat.
In mine house.
In mine house. Meat. 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 What is meat? Food. Read.
And prove me now herewith, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven.
God said, if I will not open you a window of heaven. What is that talking about?
Opportunity to come into the fold.
Okay, remember part of the tithe was corn, right? Was vegetables, fruits and vegetables. That was part of the tithe. When God opens up the windows of heaven, what is he talking about?
Opening up everything to you.
It's talking about rain. Because back then we had to depend on God for rain to water our crops. You understand that? To water our, that's the only way we could survive. Because if we didn't check this out. If there was no water, how would the cows, how would our livestock eat?
Bring it up.
They couldn't eat, it would be dried up. So right. God says he was gonna open up the windows of heaven, meaning rain.
That's right.
Read.
Genesis chapter 7 verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
It was the rain So that's how the Most High God is going to open up the windows of heaven. It's talking about rain, water. Read. No, go back.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 10.
Go ahead.
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse.
Hey, brothers, sisters, hey, y'all come over here. When y'all come out of the store and come listen to what we got to say. We're going to show you your nationality. Read.
That there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, says the Lord of hosts.
Read.
If I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Now watch this. I'm going to show you how the Most High God blesses us abundantly. If I plant if I plant a apple tree, right, one seed, I plant this apple tree. That apple tree grows up and becomes an adult tree and prospers. Can I eat all the apples that's on that tree?
No.
The Most High, He did it that way. Why? Because there will always be poor among us. So we were not to harvest all of those apples. We want to leave somewhere that it glean so the poor can glean from it.
Leviticus chapter 19 verse 9. And when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor.
For the who?
For the poor.
For the who?
For the poor.
This thing is about God's people. Read.
And the stranger. I am the Lord your God.
This is what the tithe is for. But these wicked pastors are not going to tell you this. Give me Jeremiah 14:14. Listen, man, our people are jacked up. We have been taught lies all of our life. And these black pastors that are in these churches, T.D. Jakes, Crepo Dollar, Anita Bynum, or Juanita Bynum, or whatever the hell her name is, all these pastors, even some of these peon pastors that you see from city to city, they're repeating that same lie. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 14 verse 14.
Watch this.
Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies.
God is saying these pastors are prophesying lies. Read.
In my name.
In His name. The Lord told me. The Lord gave me a vision in my dream. Read.
I sent them not.
I did what?
I sent them not.
God said He didn't send these wicked pastors. Read.
Neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them.
God says, I didn't tell them to tell you these lies. Read.
They prophesy unto you a false vision.
A what?
A false vision.
What is their vision? I want a $65 million check and make you feel guilty because you don't give money and pay it. Read.
And divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart.
Deceit of their heart. Remember I told you the heart is speaking of the mind. Give me Jeremiah 17:9. Watch what God says about these wicked pastors, even some of us. Watch this, read.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
How are we able to control this mind? Give me Psalms 19:7. This is how we control our minds. This is how these pastors, you know what, give me that, and then also give me Malachi 2:7. I'm going to show you what these preachers are supposed to be teaching our people. What these preachers are supposed to be teaching our people, and they're not doing it. And that's why we spew out we parakeet what our pastors say to us. Read.
Psalms chapter 19 verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
The commandments of God is going to change us, right? You got that? Malachi 2:3. Watch this. Read.
Malachi chapter 2 verse 7.
Come on.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
The priest, talking about the pastors, it says they should keep knowledge. Read.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
What are the pastors supposed to be teaching the people of God?
Teaching them the truth.
The truth.
Truth of God.
Which is His laws.
His laws.
Psalms 119, 142, I believe it is. Psalms 119, 142. We're going to show you, because it just said in Malachi 2:7 that the priest should be teaching us knowledge. That knowledge is the laws of God. Read.
Psalms chapter 119 verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
151. It says the laws of God is the truth. Read.
Thou art near, O Lord, and all thy commandments are true.
So the laws and the commandments are synonymous, the same thing. We have to keep God's laws in order for us to make it to the kingdom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.